Oh my God. Okay. We're getting so close to the new year, and there's something about the like fresh start of the new year that gets me so excited. And one way that I like to sort of channel this energy is to give my calendar a freshen up as well. And so I want to share with you the two things that I always do to my calendar before the new year, maybe three actually. We'll see where the conversation takes us. And I think you should do it too. Not only does it give your calendar like a fresh start, but it also helps you like stay on task and stay on target with whatever your 2022 goals are, whatever your new year goals are. I'm sure you've set some, whether you were at the Best Year Yet workshop or you've just done your own year planning. I'm sure you have some big goals set for all of 2022. And this technique helps me make sure that I actually hit my goals. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to add your year-long goals to your actual calendar. So maybe right now you've written it in a notebook or some type of workbook or something like that. Now you want to actually get those numbers, dates, projects, all of those things into your calendar. So if your goal is like, okay, I want to launch a podcast in 2022 and you don't have anything tangible to go along with it, make sure that you add there, okay, I want to launch a podcast by March of 2022. And maybe you want to have 100 downloads by June, or I don't know, something like that. As long as you have those numbers, I want you to add those to your calendar. So if you've got March, as when you want to actually launch the podcast, then make sure that you've also put some other things and reverse engineered how you're going to, like what things need to be done before your podcast actually launches. So what tasks and what projects need to be completed in order for you to actually hit that goal. So that's number one. Make sure all your year-long goals are actually in your calendar. Thirsty. First and foremost. And it seems silly, but it's so nice when you open up your calendar for the month or something and you're like, oh yeah, this is the month that I really wanted to make sure that I got that new webinar up. And even though my list is long right now, this was a priority in order for me to hit my goals for the year. I'm going to move some things around and make sure that I actually follow through on that. So that's number one. The second thing that you want to do is then go ahead and add recurring tasks that will help you hit that goal. So let's say your goal for 2022 is not this podcast thing. Maybe it's that you want to have 10K months. And so in order for you to have 10K months, you need to close 5 clients per month. And in order for you to close 5 clients per month, you need to book 4 sales calls per week. Let's just say I'm kind of making up these numbers. You need to book 4 sales calls per week. Put that into your calendar. So have in your calendar where it says like, make an offer to, or like let people know that my calendar is open for next week for a discovery call. Put those actual recurring tasks in your calendar and maybe put it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11. I go on stories or on my email list or something, and I talk to my audience about booking a discovery call with me. That's one recurring task that's going to help you make sure that you actually hit your goal of 4 sales calls, 5 clients, 10K months, right? And there's so many other things that you could do too, like putting in email my list every Tuesday and have that in your calendar, not just as a reminder to email your list, but put in, maybe 2 hours the day before to write the email and then an hour the morning of to schedule the email. So like these things sometimes can be like, oh yeah, I'll email my list once a week, but they don't actually make it into your itinerary or like the thing that you have to do every day. The problem is when you run a business, like things come up, right? If you have a team, they need you. If you have clients, maybe they need you. If, something goes wrong with your website or like just shit happens, right? You've got that email you need to reply to, things come up. And so having these reminders and actual time blocking things in your calendar is so key. So those are the 2 things that I always do. And the other thing that I think is really important is to create calendar boundaries. So look through your calendar and see if there's anything in there right now that you're like, I don't do this. Like I have this whole morning routine like blocked out in little 15-minute chunks or 30-minute chunks, and I just don't do it. And it stresses me out. And because of that, I just don't even look at my calendar. Or maybe for you, it's that you never give yourself time for lunch. And of course, you get hungry or you have to pee in the middle of the day. And so then you go take a lunch break and then you're behind on all those things that were still in your calendar. So just sort of like look at your calendar and be a little bit ruthless and say, like, what doesn't need to be here? And how can I create some better boundaries around my calendar so that I'm clear on, how committed I am to actually following through on the things that are in my calendar. Because I find if there's too much stuff in your calendar, then you're more likely to be like, I just don't look at that because I'm not doing it and I just kind of avoid it. You know what I mean? And we want to avoid avoiding our calendar in the new year. So those are actually the three things that I really like to do. Add your full year goals into your calendar, put them in there. It's going to feel so good. Even if you like have a goal of grow my email list by 100 people a week, like put that in your calendar every Friday and see, like, did I grow by 100 a week? And keep up with yourself there. I really like to do that. Number two, add recurring tasks that help you actually hit those big year-long goals. And number three is set some calendar boundaries, clear that baby out, get rid of stuff that you don't do, add in time for buffer space and white space and creativity, and maybe even scrolling Instagram because we all know we're going to do it. And give yourself some time for it in your calendar so you don't feel behind or like you want to avoid your calendar. So let me know how you clean out your calendar and if you're ready and your calendar is looking cute for the new year. And otherwise, I will talk with you soon.